Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is Kara Heifel with the Illinois Restaurant Association. I'd like to thank everyone for joining today for our webinar, which is on energy costs and key ways to saving and creating efficiency. During today's webinar, we'll hear from experts from Nicor Gas, the Illinois Green Business Association, and Cook County's Department of Environment and Sustainability. Today's webinar is being broadcast in English, Spanish, and Mandarin Chinese. To listen in Spanish or Chinese, please use the interpretation button in your toolbar below. The webinar is being presented today by us here at the Illinois Restaurant Association in conjunction with the Cook County Small Business Source. This Cook County Small Business Source was established initially to ensure businesses emerge from COVID-19 intact and positioned for growth. The Small Business Source connects small business owners and with expert guidance and support. Some of these services include no-cost business advising, resources, and events that connect small business owners with a community of advisors and each other. For one-on-one business advising, sign up at cookcountysmallbiz.org. It's right there on your screen. It's free and super easy. And after you do that, we will connect you directly with a business advisor such as us at the Illinois Restaurant Association and a number of other partner organizations that you see on your screen now. Once after we connect you to the people in the network, we'll get your contact info and go from there. Again, it's free and super easy. Before we get started with the webinar, I just want to remind everyone that us at the Illinois Restaurant Association remain dedicated to as a resource for you and your business and any questions that you have. Our staff, myself included, and all of our staff want to provide expert guidance, and we're here as a free resource to support the entire hospitality industry. Now, for today's webinar, we will have Q&A at the end. And so if you have questions, please put your questions at the bottom and type them in to the Q&A, and we'll get to those the best we can with our time. And if you see a question that you already like, just give it a thumbs up so we can prioritize those as best as we can. And a reminder to everyone that at the conclusion of this webinar, it's being recorded, so you'll get the recording and the slide deck sent to you, and it will live on our website, illinoisrestaurants.org. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our panelists with us today. We have Cassie Carroll, who's the co-founder and director of the Illinois Green Business Association, Adil Hassan, program manager at Nicor Gas Efficiency Program, and Ricardo Megayon. He's the manager of Air Inspection Division from the Cook County Department of Environment and Sustainability. And now we'll start with Cassie, and then we'll go to our other panelists. Cassie, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kara, and thank you for having me today. I'm happy to be here. My name is Cassie Carroll. I'm with the Illinois Green Business Association. I also work with the Smart Energy Design Assistance Center at CDAC, which is housed at the University of Illinois. So thanks to Ricardo and Cook County for looping me into today's session. So we focus in our work with businesses around sustainable business. Really, we offer a program called the Illinois Green Business Program. It was founded in 2008, and really the goal is to help businesses or make it easier for businesses to go green or find profitability and sustainability, as we like to say. We try to bring national expertise to Illinois businesses to really hone in on what are the best tips, tricks, different things that we could do to help businesses be sustainable, and of course, help sustainable business be a standard of practice. So our work under the Illinois Green Business Programs in partnership with the Illinois Green Business Association and CDAC. Next slide, please. We provide, so what is a green business? A green business is a business that saves money by wasting less. So it's a business that, for example, like Daily Bagel and Oak Park, really make sure that they hone in on their temperature settings for their thermostats when they're not in the building at night, to really make sure they're not spending as much as the energy they need. They're making sure to conserve that in the times when they're not in their business. Green businesses also increase operational efficiency. They find ways to reduce waste, reduce time, increase efficiency, and you could do that through sustainable practices. They also engage their employees and their community of customers in greener practices, and they're always on a journey of continuous improvement. So sustainability and green business is not just a a snapshot or a one-time thing, it's a journey. And so we help businesses really in 3 key steps. We help assess opportunities for a business to be sustainable. Then we help them take action, and we help them get recognized for their efforts and their initiatives. So we serve as a one-stop shop for a lot of different types of businesses, including restaurants, and partner with you on your sustainability journey. So being a sustainable business, really, you save money. We're going to talk a lot today about how energy efficiency, waste reduction, these sorts of things can help your business reduce its operating costs, those utility bills, and also be more efficient with the resources you use. You're increasing efficiency. Agribusiness also enhances your brand. It provides positive PR in your community, and it differentiates you from other businesses in your community, in your region, et cetera. You also attract customers that care about the community and the environment. Customers are really caring, there's a lot of young people that are really care about where they put their dollars. And so new generations will come, and sustainability is a key to them supporting business. So you can attract those customers that really care about the environment. And also you can save time and valuable resources by not approaching sustainability alone and having a partner like the Illinois Green Business Association to help you. So let's dive into energy efficiency here today. Restaurants are extremely energy intensive, using about 5 to 7 more times energy per square foot than other commercial buildings, such as office buildings or retail stores. Even high volume quick service restaurants may use up to 10 times more energy per square foot than other commercial buildings. And really, how does your energy use break down? You can see on the next slide here that an average restaurant, most of your energy that you use is in food preparation and heating and cooling, or HVAC. But sanitation, washing dishes, uses energy. Refrigeration, of course, is a big piece of that pie, and lighting. So if you look at lighting, HVAC, and your cooking equipment, how you prepare your food, that is the majority of your energy use in your restaurant. So as we talk about, as I go through some more slides today, I'm going to talk about this theme of every restaurant should, and talk about some high tips to think about ways to reduce your impact across that pie. So first, every restaurant should assess their current resource use and get an energy assessment. I know Adil is going to talk here in a minute about the NICOR programs that they provide and their no-cost assessments, but assessments are a great way to identify opportunities. Next slide, please. And an energy assessment looks at key components. So they look at lighting, they look at your heating and cooling, your building envelope, your equipment, and then they even identify operational opportunities or things you can do that are no cost to help you save energy and money. So, I'll go through some of these key energy reductions today in a little bit more detail, but I just want to note that if you're part of the ComEd, Ameren Illinois, NICOR, Peoples Gas, North Shore Gas, NICOR gas service, utility incentives are available for all of these different energy saving measures. If you're doing something in your business that you think, oh, this is going to affect my energy bill, reach out to the utilities. They have incentives for you. Next slide, please. One of the things I really like to start off with when I talk to restaurants is just operational efficiency. What are some no-cost things that you can do to shave dollars off your utility bills and reduce your impact? So making sure your monitors and TVs are on standby mode at night or shut off at night is a good thing. Shutting down, having a cooking or a shutdown schedule for all of your cooking equipment and your hood fans. Hood fans take your heating and cooling that you've used in your building and shoot it right out of your roof. Basically, keep that air in, shut off those hood fans when they're not in use by taking that, the smoke and the cooking fumes out of your building. Turn off light labels. Make sure that you turn off your lights in closets and basements. You don't need those lights on. They're going to just be burning and using energy when you're not in the building and not in those spaces. Programming thermostats. Keeping your walk-ins really tight and, not keeping them super full so they have good airflow. And then, of course, maintaining your refrigeration, cleaning those coils, making sure that you're doing things to keep your equipment operating most efficiently. So every restaurant should also consider things like strip curtains on their walk-ins. you're opening that door, you're pulling cold air out, warm air is going into your walk-in. Strip curtains reduce that barrier of air transfer and really maintain the temperature in your walk-in better. So it's not only going to reduce your energy costs by kicking on that walk-in and having it start to use energy to cool back down its system, but it's also going to keep your food at better quality temperatures. I know I have a restaurant, put in strip curtains, it's saving them money, it's keeping their walk-in at temp better. So it's really helping make their system more efficient and effective. And strip curtains are something that are incentivized by the utilities, and they're really easy to install. So I know one business that we work with is going to save about they're going to save about $200 a year just by putting these strip curtains on one of their walk-ins, and they have 5. So it's a really great opportunity, something like strip curtains and walk-in units. There are also a lot of other things. Other thing I just want to mention, don't put your ice machines next to your cooking equipment. That takes, your ice machine is cold, your cooking equipment's hot. That heat transfers over to that ice machine. That ice machine has to work harder to stay cool. So it's using energy at peak blast to keep that ice cool. So make sure that you're placing it in a space that's not near hot equipment. So these are just some things that I talk to a lot of restaurants about. The other piece that I talk to restaurants a lot about is thermostat scheduling. So on the next slide, I'll show you what a heat map looks like for a business. You can see here, this is a day, and these are days within the month of October and November. So you can see here the yellow and the orange is when this restaurant operates. So they start to kick on at about 9 a.m. and then go all the way till about 8 p.m. But if you click the next couple of buttons, that you can see those 2 circles. There's a little bit of green and yellow. That yellow means that your cooling equipment or your heating and cooling, particularly this is electricity use, but your HVAC is working during times when restaurant's not open. So cleaning up things like this on the right that are in orange and yellow, or setting your thermostat so you don't kick on your heating and cooling systems at night will really help reduce energy. I know I worked with a small restaurant, and they were going to save, just by tightening up their scheduling, they were going to save about $1,000 a year on heating and cooling costs. I mean, they were out of control, but it really does make a difference. So this is a small thing, installing a programmable thermostat, making sure that it's scheduled properly. And there are programs that can help you navigate all of that through the utilities. This is just another example of a clean or a business that's doing a really great job at scheduling. So if you click again a couple times, you can see that you don't see a lot of yellow during the times when this business is not in operation. Moving forward, LED lighting is something that you should look at, not only indoor, but outdoor. Your exit signs, they're on 24/7. Why not put an LED in them that's most efficient? LEDs use 70 to 90% less energy and last 10 to 25 times longer. Make sure though, when you look at your lighting, that you replace bulbs that are rated for commercial use. So if you've had lighting that has been in your business that burns out quickly, that's not a commercial really rated bulb. So make sure that it is commercial rated, and you'll get that savings that you anticipate. Another key that I think Adil is going to talk about is faucet aerators and pre-rinse spray valves. So hand washing sinks are a great place for those faucet aerators, not on sinks that you're filling things with. And then pre-rinse spray valves on the right there on 3-part sinks. But this is a snippet from a business that we just worked with. It's small. I mean, they're 1,500 square feet. They could save about $368 annually just by putting a new, more efficient pre-rinse spray valve in their sink and faucet aerators on their hand washing sinks. So it's really a great opportunity. You can always look to Energy Star certified equipment when you're looking to replace your equipment, like cooking equipment, ice machines, fryers, and there are incentives for those pieces as well. And make sure those hood fans have side panels to increase capture and containment of that heat and smoke, so that you're making sure you're using your conditioning most efficiently and effectively. So I know I blasted through a lot of those things. I'm glad you're going to get the slides afterwards, but really my key point that I want to drive home is start somewhere. Don't be afraid to try out some of these new low to no cost strategies. And it's a journey. You don't have to do everything at once. And on my final slide here, I just want to say, Implement some easy little wins, start to see the savings, and just keep going with what you can. Sustainability is a journey, it's not a race, and you don't have to do everything at once. So thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or follow up with me later. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Cassie. That was a lot of great information and usable tips for this. And so again, glad that we'll be sending all this out for everyone to use and take home with them. Next on this webinar, we'll have Adil Hassan. He's with the NICOR Energy Efficiency Program. Adil, take it away.
Thank you, Kara. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adil Hassan, and I'm the program manager for commercial, industrial, and small business sector. First of all, thank you so much for joining us today. For the next 30 minutes or so, I'll give an overview of the energy efficiency portfolio at NICOR and highlight some of the many benefits that you can take advantage of through our many programs. Starting with what exactly is energy efficiency? Simply put, could you go back to the previous slide, please? I wasn't done yet. Thank you. So what is energy efficiency? Simply put, energy efficiency means using less energy to get the same job done, and in the process, cutting energy bills and reducing pollution. At NICOR, the energy efficiency portfolio was created around comfort to keep the facilities comfortable and to save energy every day. Energy efficient homes and businesses use less energy to heat, cool, and run appliances, and all in all, use less energy to produce goods. It is one of the most easiest and the most cost-effective ways to reduce energy costs, gain a cost advantage, and at the same time, do good for the environment. Most facilities use more energy than they actually need through inefficiencies and waste. So energy efficiency is really one of the easiest ways to eliminate that waste and in the process, lower costs. Next slide, please. So at NICOR, through our assets and value chain, we deliver the comfort and convenience of natural gas to roughly 2.3 million residential, public sector, and business customers in more than 650 communities throughout Northern Illinois. On the energy efficiency side alone, we have had more than 1,000 restaurants participate in our programs. And in the process, we have delivered about $200,000 in incentives. And our programs have helped them achieve $120,000 in cost savings. And all of these metrics, we have achieved that in the last 5 years alone. And going forward, restaurants will be an important aspect of our program. We understand and recognize the challenges of the market, especially in the last couple of years, and we understand the concerns. The reality is that kitchen appliances are energy intensive. 65% of energy costs go into food preparation and HVAC use alone. And that's a big chunk of cost to the business. So in the next few slides, I'll highlight some avenues to take advantage of the services and the products that NICOR has to offer. So some of the obvious benefits of energy efficiency are cost savings, right? Energy costs can account for up to 35% of total cost for a full service restaurant, and that's rather high. Energy efficient equipment are a great option to lower costs as they consume less energy throughout their service lives without sacrificing quality, and are an excellent way to save on your energy expenditures. Second benefit is greater ROI, has the potential to improve ROI. The cost savings that you see from energy efficient measures should eventually offset their extra cost, which provides an implicit return on investment when compared to the lifetime cost of adopting more conventional products. And finally, it's good for the environment, and it's a great way to reduce the overall carbon footprint. So on your screen, you see the main categories of products and services that we offer at NICOR. The first one being assessments. The free assessments provide a custom report on the energy use. They outline the many energy efficiency recommendations with tips and ways to improve the business energy costs. Next, we have rebates. We offer rebates when you purchase a qualifying equipment. This can help minimize upfront costs so that you can invest in the top quality equipment that your restaurant business needs. So when a customer installs a qualified product that meets the requirements set by the program, There is a predetermined rebate amount depending on the product category that is given out for completing that project. We also have free energy saving products. We do have a handful of energy and water savings products that we install at no cost to our customers. Beyond energy efficiency, we also have an option of financing that is available to cover the cost of energy efficiency equipment and improvements at homes and businesses. Installments of these loans are conveniently applied to the monthly Nicor gas bills. So starting with assessments, through this service, we provide a comprehensive assessment of the facility, which comes at no cost to the customers. It's a two-step process where we'll have an energy technician spend about an hour at your facility and identify opportunities for you to save energy. We'll then create a report with all the opportunities listed out, along with associated incentive and cost savings estimate. In addition, if the technicians see an opportunity, they will complete a complimentary product installation as well. And in the last year alone, we have performed more than 100 assessments for restaurants and food service customers and installed 400 direct install products. Some of the direct install products that you can see on your screen, these are spray valves, faucet aerators, shower heads, water heating pipe wraps, and door sweeps. For our next offering, we have rebates. This is oftentimes called a prescriptive rebate that gives specific guidelines about energy saving upgrades and the rebate amount customers get for performing those upgrades. There are generally a number of specific requirements that go along with prescriptive rebates. The main benefit here is that these incentives have the potential to reduce the payback period on new equipment and projects, which includes food service equipment, space heating and HVAC projects, and water savings products, among other technologies. The whole thing starts with an application. It's a simple process that can be done through our website. You would go over to the business option from our homepage and then click on Ways to Save. Here, you'll find a complete guide to the application process. In addition, we can also help you with identifying a contractor if you don't have one already. Finally, you have 90 days after installing the equipment to apply for that rebate. So custom incentives. The custom program is available to businesses who install qualifying energy efficiency projects that are not eligible for rebates through other offerings. Anything outside of the standard list of projects would be routed through the custom program. And this utilizes engineering resources to calculate energy savings for specific projects. The incentive of these projects are based on the therm savings achieved from installing that product. The incentive amount ranges between 60 to 80 cents per unit of savings, which is per therm that you achieve through that installation. To receive custom incentives for energy savings projects, you must obtain pre- and final approval. So in the next slide, we have the commercial food service program. This is a program through which you can save money and energy for your business with instant discounts for qualifying energy efficient food service equipment. Depending on the product category, standard kitchen equipment use anywhere between 10 to 70% more energy. Energy efficient food service equipment have come a long way. These models are reliable, they're kitchen tested, and can help you save. And with discounts of up to $4,500, you can choose the right equipment for your kitchen for the best price and for the best performance. You won't need to worry about any paperwork or wait for a rebate check. You just have to go to a participating supplier and they can provide you with that instant discount right on the invoice. And discounts are available. This is a statewide program. So no matter what territory you are in, you should be able to take advantage of this. So talking about financing, this is available for eligible customers to cover the cost of energy efficiency equipment and improvements in their facilities. Anything that is rebate qualifying automatically qualifies for a loan. We have loan terms that range from 1 to 10 years. So it is very flexible. The only caveat here is that to get the 7 to 10 year term loan, the cost of the project needs to be over $8,000. And the loan covers equipment costs, installation, and other related services. So work has to be done by and completed by an approved contractor. Again, there is no application fee for the customer or the contractor, so it comes at no additional fees. And installments of these loans are conveniently applied to the monthly NICOR gas bills. Moving on to the residential side, similar to assessments for businesses, we also have assessments for homes. A NICOR Gas Energy Advisor will conduct a free in-home or virtual walkthrough assessment. During this assessment, they identify the energy savings opportunities and install energy saving products similar to businesses, such as the items listed on the screen. They will then create a summary report that lists out the recommendations, and that is provided directly to the customer. You can then contact us to perform the recommended work, such as replacing a furnace or air sealing and insulation. And the number that you see on your screen, you should be able to call that number and schedule that assessment. So on this slide, you have different residential rebate offerings. Rebate amount varies from $25 for smart thermostats to $500 for duct sealing. We do have a bonus as well, where you can get an extra $25 when you apply for a smart thermostat and a furnace on the same application for a total incentive of up to $275. For more information on this, you can visit nicorgas.com/home rebates. We do offer free water savings kit as well. So showerhead saves about, the water savings kit itself include high efficiency showerhead, kitchen faucet aerators, bathroom faucet aerators, plumber's tape, shower timer, things of that nature. There is tremendous savings potential. So showerheads, for example, save about 40% more energy. Kitchen faucet aerators save about 30% more energy. Faucet aerators on your bathroom sinks save about 55% more energy. So there's tremendous savings potential. To get your free kit, you can log on to nicorgas.com/free kit. We also provide free weatherization kits as well. And these kits include outlet and switch foam draft sealers, foam tape, weather stripping, V-seal type weather stripping, self-adhesive door sweep, and rope caulk. Of course, this comes at no cost to you. You can order your free kit at nicorgas.com/free kit. So for our last section, we have income eligible offerings. The Illinois Home Weatherization Assistance Program, or IWAP, helps income eligible residents make their homes and apartments more energy efficient. This is a state-run program and funded by the local, state, and federal government, as well as the utilities. The weatherization services eligible through this program includes air sealing, attic and wall insulation, furnace repair and replacement, and other health and safety measures. The work needs to be performed by a program-approved contractor that have the required certification and licenses. If you would like to learn about how to become an approved contractor, you can contact, or you can reach out to a CEA agency, and also log on to our website at nicorgas.com/free weatherization. We also have another income eligible offering, that is the joint utility program on the next slide. And this is funded solely by utilities. If a customer does not meet the strict IWAP income eligibility requirements, they may qualify for this utility run offering just to get advantage of the weatherization benefits. And this is for single and multifamily properties. Customers must be at or below the 80% of the area's median income. The eligibility criteria are the same for the IWAP program. And the only caveat here is that this is a closed contractor network, and all the contractors that we work with need to have the right certifications and the licenses to perform the work. That was a lot of information in the last 15 minutes or so. So of course, feel free to reach out directly to me or to the email address of the program or call the number that you see on your screen for any additional questions. And with that, I will hand over the podium to Ricardo.
Thank you, Adele. That was great information. Ricardo, feel free to take it away.
Thanks, Kara. Thank you both, Cassie and Adele. Really appreciate the information on energy savings. So hi, everybody. My name is Ricardo Maguillo, and I'm the manager of the Air Inspection Division for Cook County's Department of Environment and Sustainability. It's my contact information over here. So you heard a lot about energy efficiency and energy savings, water savings a little bit there too, and gas savings. So I'm going to take this in a slightly different direction and talk to you a little bit more about restaurant pollution prevention or pollution reduction practices, which can mean a variety of things. That means, the energy and water savings we discussed earlier, but also waste diversion in restaurants, like what's actually recyclable, what's actually considered compostable industrially, which means you don't have to have your own backyard rotating object there. You can just give it to a waste management company to handle it for you. Other ways you can divert waste, such as donating whatever you have left over from any given day to an organization that would gladly accept your food. And then I'll get into a little bit, I'll get into safer cleaning products as well, like what to look out for when you're purchasing cleaning products for your restaurant. And I won't get into conserving water or the energy efficiency part too much, since Adele and Cassie had already discussed pretty much everything I was about to discuss. If we move on to the next slide. So the waste diversion part, essentially a lot of people in restaurants are used to putting all their items, all their waste essentially in one bin and, send it out to go to the landfill. It's not the best practice to do, but I understand that there's a little bit of a lack of education of what you can do to divert this waste. And the best thing that I've noticed within the city of Chicago and other areas in Illinois is you can compost a lot of that material, a lot of your food scraps, recycle things like aluminum cans, glass bottles, and some of your plastics, and so on and so forth. So what I have for you next here is a little bit of a waste diversion training for you. We can go to the next slide. And Kara, feel free to just keep hitting the right button so these things pop up here. So when we talk about compost, you're probably curious what exactly that includes. So it's going to include a lot of things that you may be throwing away into the landfill right now. So you probably didn't know all this, but all these items here are considered compostable in a lot of different waste streams throughout Illinois, including the Chicagoland area and Cook County. There's service providers out there. So you'll notice here things such as soiled cardboard or any soiled paper, anything that gets grease on it, even paper towels, can actually go into a compost bin. Things such as compostable containers that have that number 7 on it. It has to say PLA also, means plant-based. Those types of plastics aren't really plastic, they're considered bioplastics. And a lot of those are accepted by industrial composters in your areas. For those of you that also serve coffee and breakfast in particular, you could compost your coffee and coffee grounds. So if after every batch, you're able to even throw in the paper filter if you use one of those straight into the compost bin. That also includes wax paper for sandwiches, any eggshells, even bones, they accept bones, and tea bags. So anything that was, that is plant-based or, a meat product of sorts, anything really at all could go into a compost bin. So we can go to the next slide. And we have a few more items here. So other things that you might be using now, if you don't know about them already, are compostable products that outside of the bioplastics. And these, some of these are bioplastics themselves, like compostable lids for coffee, compostable utensils. You're probably wondering how you can tell if items are compostable. Again, look for that number 7, or just do a little bit of reading on the product. If it says compostable written out fully on it, then you could probably put that inside of your compost bin. Things like wooden chopsticks or wooden stir sticks, because they're made out of wood, it's untreated material, and it's a really small, thin material compared to other pieces of other wood products. You can put that straight into those green compost bins. And things like paper cups, as long as they say that it's compostable, long as it's made out of full paper and nothing else, you can throw that right in there as well. And if you'd like more information on what you can do in the state of Illinois when it comes to composting, take a look at that website, illinoiscompost.org. There is a list of a bunch of restaurants that already participate in these types of programs. I know Cassie's Illinois Green Business Program as well has some businesses in there, like in Oak Park, for instance, that do this already. So if you need to reach out to somebody for best practices, I mean, feel free to reach out to either myself or Cassie or any of the businesses listed in that website. So the next slide is detailing recycling. I know a lot of us have been doing this for years, for decades, it feels like. Some of us might have been disheartened by low diversion rates in the Chicago area, for instance. I think last or maybe a year or so ago, only roughly 10% of items that were made out of plastic got diverted from landfill. So we could really use a little bit of help. And I think part of that help is to get everybody educated on what can actually go into your plastic recycling bins. So items such as glass bottles or plastic bins or buckets that actually maintain that harder shell shape right there can be put inside of your recycling bins. So all hard rigid types of plastics, if you have cleaning products too that are in plastic that are, that are fully made out of number 1 or number 2 plastics, those little triangles, the 1 or 2 there, we know that those can be recycled. There is a market for it. So a lot of waste management companies will pick those up and actually sort those at offsite at material recovery areas. But in order to sort properly, they need to make sure that that everybody's putting things in the right places. So all these items right here should still be recyclable in the state of Illinois, at least in Cook County. Please do reach out to your waste hauler to see if you can get a bin and double check with them, because all waste management companies are a little different. But the general rule of thumb is that glass is 100% recyclable. Aluminum cans, including foil wrap, actually, is recyclable. And for foil wrap in restaurants, if there's some food in there, it's still recyclable. All you have to do is make sure that there's no food on the outside when you're wrapping it into a ball or something like that. And waste management companies can still recycle those items, even if there's a little bit of grease or oil or food in there. Just make sure that none of that's on the outside when you're throwing it out. And going through landfill items. So I know a lot of the other stuff in the compost and recycle section might be thrown away now, and that's okay. This is a learning moment here, but items that can go to landfill, you'll notice here, just by the looks of what you're seeing, are things that are not too heavy, things that are not very, very big. So you're seeing things like your like condiment wrappers for ketchup or mustard, any broken glass you see. Yes, glass is recyclable, but if it's broken, it's more of a hazard to the people that work with you. So you want to make sure that all of that just gets thrown into the trash if it's broken. Used cloths and rags can get thrown in there. And any gloves that you use to prepare food, straight into the landfill. Chip bags, the material is called Mylar, but they're chip bags. So that's what we use it for. So that type of material has to go in there, and any soft plastic bags that you might notice as well. So remember, these plastic bags are not recyclable. You have to go through a few hoops to find a recycler for it. A lot of waste management companies don't accept them because they can get stuck in machines when they're sorting and break down their equipment. So unfortunately, things like plastic straws and soft plastic bags like that need to go to landfill. And of course, styrofoam. We don't love styrofoam right now. It has some good insulation qualities, but there's better things out there that you can use that are compostable or even made out of metal. And so styrofoam has to go to landfill as well. And so what happens if you have you have a bunch of extra food after a busy day in the restaurant? So you have extra food. Sometimes a lot of that stuff gets thrown out. If it's going bad, it's okay to compost it. It's a great way to increase your restaurant's diversion rate and get things away from landfill. However, if you have a lot of food, there are people in need out there that could really benefit from the. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I have a dog out here in the bathroom. So, right. So if you have extra food, instead of letting that go to waste, you could send it out to a food bank such as the Greater Chicago Food Depository. So I know in Cook County, this is probably one of the top resources that we have. You can reach out. They do have contact information on their website to see if there's a location in your area. For the most part, I think they don't just accept canned goods, like things like that, but they should be able to accept other items like hot food that's prepared the day of. So if you want more information, please go to that website, and I'm happy to make connections to this group if anybody's interested in diverting waste that way. And then there's the safer cleaning products portion of this presentation, which discusses what you should be looking out for when you're getting cleaning products. So items such as bleach or anything else that really doesn't have a label like this might it might pose some minor some respiratory concerns. Like if you breathe in some of that stuff directly, it's called acute exposure. That can go into your lungs and cause some cause respiratory ailments like asthma or other things, and just make it harder for maybe staff in the back end to breathe over time. So in order to avoid that, I highly recommend purchasing items with one of these 3 labels. The main one I'm going to recommend is the EPA Safer Choice label. The reason for this is that EPA tests every single ingredient inside of their, they test every single ingredient inside of each cleaning product. So if you see the Safer Choice label on an all-purpose cleaner, for instance, then you know that everything's been tested and none of that stuff's bad for you. Like it's reached a threshold that is not hazardous to you or your staff. So I highly recommend buying products like this. They're actually pretty cost competitive now to a lot of the items that you might normally buy. And you could find these items over here, at least these 2, the Green Seal and the Safer Choice, in places even like Costco or Walmart, wherever it is that you buy normally, and ask your supplier as well to see if they have lists of this. Some of them do. We're jumping back into water conservation a bit here, and I know Cassie and Adel had talked about a lot about their rebates and what can help conserve water. So I'll just kind of leave it at this. It's not. Yeah, I'll leave it at the part where, yes, talk to them more and you're able to get a lot of those items for free, like the pre-rinse sprayers. I did also want to mention, if we go back a quick slide here, that the county did get some American Rescue Plan funding to start our own pollution prevention, our own pollution prevention program. It's called the BRIGHT program. And if you can go one more slide, Kara. So this program, I'm going to mention it now because it's very similar to Cassie's Illinois Green Business Program. However, the difference is that we're currently only working with like dry cleaners and other food and beverage manufacturers, but we do want to gather interest from other business types to see if this program can help restaurants as well. The Illinois Green Business Program is the full, has more checklists available and assessments available for restaurants. But if anyone is interested at all in either this program or that one, we work together. So we want to make sure that we're getting the right information out to you. And there is some interest surveys at the bottom as well. And Cassie, did you want to chime in here?
Oh, no, sorry. I just wanted to emphasize that it's great. It's a great opportunity to work together. I accidentally raised my hand though.
And it is. And we actually work with NICOR as well for, to help set up assessments as well through them. So we kind of work as a group that, works with different organizations and partners to make sure that everybody gets their energy assessments, their waste assessments, their toxics assessments, all that stuff done. So we're kind of a group that helps coordinate all that. And if people are interested in learning more about it, feel free to sign up just to get more information, either in English, Spanish, or Korean. We do have surveys available for. Check out the website and then send me an email or send an email to that bright@cookcounty.gov email address as well. And that's what I have for you all today. More information on pollution prevention practices can be found at those 2 sites as well.
Great, thank you, Ricardo. And Adele and Cassie, this has all been great, incredible information for restaurants and everyone involved. We're gonna next take it over to some Q&A. And if anyone on this webinar has any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat there at the bottom of your toolbar. So first, I'm gonna hand this over to Adele. Our question is, what goes into an energy assessment?
Great question. So energy assessments is really an inventory of all the energy using equipment in a restaurant, for example. So we'll look at all the kitchen equipment, HVAC, just to make sure the operating parameters are efficient and minimize waste. So looking at things like the set point of the thermostat is at the right setting. I would refer it back to Cassie as well. So some of the load profiles that she had shared in her portion, through assessments, our job is to identify what those wastes are and kind of create a roadmap for you to tackle those wastes, and also link you with all the many incentives that we have to offer to complete those projects. So in a nutshell, that's what an assessment is. And of course, like I said, it's a two-step process. We'll have an energy technician come out to the facility, spend an hour, look at all the equipment that uses gas. And the second step of it is that same technician will kind of create a summary report with all the findings, with all the cost savings that are associated with each of these projects, and also kind of give you an idea of what the estimated incentives could be for completing those projects. So we highlight the financial benefits, the environmental benefits, and also make sure that the control parameters are at the right setting. So there's an operational benefit as well.
Yeah, I would just add, I think, to Adil, I think the biggest benefit to a restaurant is just having a roadmap that shows what are the things that are easy to invest in and what can you plan for later on down the road to save energy. So, and they do such a great job of identifying the cost savings and incentives, and then there's support even if you pursue a project to help actually apply to those incentives and get those incentives for the things that they've outlined. So I highly recommend it. It's just a great opportunity to get that roadmap for your business of all different sorts of energy saving opportunities.
Great.
One other point that I'll make is, navigating the energy efficiency world can be complicated, confusing. So assessments, again, is a good level set for many people. So, that is kind of like a low effort way of identifying how to navigate the energy efficiency routes to get the incentive. So we'll connect you with the right rep, the utility rep, people like Ricardo through the Bright program, just to make sure we get you the benefits from the utility company to the customers directly. And assessments do a great job at that.
Great, thank you, everyone. Next question, I'm going to first hand it to Cassie, but everyone feel free to jump in. How does one become a green business? I think you talked about roadmaps.
Sure. So the really easy answer to this is similar to the first question, get an assessment. So we offer, it's probably about an hour and a half, so a 30-minute phone call and then an hour site walkthrough where we can go through and identify opportunities to reduce your environmental impact and provide kind of a green action plan for you. But becoming a green business through our program is reaching a certain number of green practices in your restaurant. We have a checklist that we work with that outlines things in energy, water, waste, like Ricardo talked about, pollution prevention. And if you meet a certain number of those standards, then you are recognized as a green business. And we provide different marketing benefits and promotional benefits, as well as you just get the benefit of cost savings, market differentiation, and being able to attract those green-minded customers. So the start is really easy, and we walk you through and help you along the process. Ricardo's program, the Bright program, we work collaboratively on that. So it's really kind of seamless. Ricardo's program really focuses on high impact opportunities to reduce your environmental impact. And we bring, add more to the table through our program. So really, again, about an hour and a half to get you started towards that becoming a recognized green business.
Great, thank you so much. Next question we have in the chat here is also, I think anyone can take it, but Cassie, will stick with you. How much are the costs for those strips that you talked about? And are they easy to install?
Yeah, so so there's a couple different ways to approach it. One way is you can do a self-install, but I would work with your refrigeration person or company that you work with to just see to get some help or assistance in navigating that. I always don't like to recommend doing it yourself. And I mean, I know walk-ins are expensive, so definitely consult with your refrigeration specialist and expert. But you can install them yourself. They cost, I think, for like an 8x10 walk-in, I was looking at prices between like $84 and $120. And then the utility companies do provide, I know ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, if you do get strip curtains in partnership with your refrigeration expert or company that you work with, there's an incentive. It's like, I think it's $4 per square foot of your walk-in for those strip curtains. So you can get an incentive. So for that 8x10 walk-in, I think they could get about $200 worth of incentives towards installation of those strip curtains. So definitely ask your refrigeration expert first, because then you can get access to those incentives and lower the cost of the project. But take a look, they aren't that expensive to install.
Great, thank you. And the savings will come back around. That's good to know. Thank you, Cassie.
Yeah, it's almost immediate, the savings. It's great.
Wow. Thank you. So next question we have in the chat here, I'm going to send it to Ricardo. Do you see composting becoming a bigger trend in the restaurant industry?
I think the easy answer, at least for me, is to say yes. I think it is going to become a huge trend in the restaurant industry. It seems to be a bit of a draw to certain customers in particular that are more passionate about the environment in particular. It's good marketing, to be honest, if you're saying that you do compost your food waste. So I can see that as a good business decision in the near future. Chicago area in particular, it's not completely set up infrastructure wise for compost, but that seems to be the trend. There are going to be sites, or there are currently sites in the Chicagoland area, for instance, that are open to receive compost. And what happens with all the compost that they receive is that it gets turned into soil and sold out to farmers a lot of the times, and maybe hopefully the southern part of Illinois or central Illinois. So it's a really circular way to handle waste. So that stuff gets turned into soil. That soil gets used to grow food. You buy that food, and there you go again. So it's a closed loop process, and that's if we put the right things in the compost bin. So like if you add any contaminants, like if you put broken glass in there, nobody wants to sort through that. So just my word of advice is if you do decide to go that route, and hopefully pricing for it becomes a lot cheaper and it just gets offered by waste management companies, just keep that in mind. But first things first, if you're interested at all, take a look at that website, the illinoiscompost.org, see who's doing it and see what companies are out there.
Great, thank you. We have another composting question that just came in. Where can someone get a compost container? Is there a list of sites that they can compost at locally? Is that on that website?
Yes, that website has all the resources for you. For example, there's a company, and it really depends on where your business is located. There's a company in Chicago that's kind of grown a bit called Waste Not. They're, I believe, Chicago-based, and they got a Loyola initially. But they've grown quite a bit, at least on the residential level. They do work with cafes and restaurants as well. We'll see their label on, their sticker on stuff. So I look into them, but that website has all the other options in case they're not an option for you.
Yeah, we have some restaurants that use Waste Not. We have some that use Lakeshore, some that work with waste management. So it's a wide variety. And I would recommend, if you're interested in composting, if you have relationships with your neighbor businesses and they could also use composting, that would help lower the cost for you and your neighbors to compost at your restaurants. So definitely take a look at that, or try to come together around composting in your neighborhood for that bin to lower the cost and make it manageable for you.
Got it. Thank you. That's a good pro tip. Next question we have is, what are budget-friendly options other than styrofoam? Ricardo, do you want to handle this?
Yeah, I'll try my best to answer this one. It's been a little bit since I've looked at the actual pricing between styrofoam and like paper products, but typically when we're talking about like clamshells, I do in Chicago even. I do still see a lot of styrofoam, and I understand it can be the cheaper option, but paper products I believe have gone down a little bit in price, and we could double check and do a cost comparison for whoever answered that question to see what else is out there. But essentially, I would go with paper products or even compostable products that have that label on it if you want to go that route. But generally, a lot of just straight paper products are compostable already. So if you want to save a little bit of money on that label, I think you can go that route. And again, please reach out to that Bright email address. We can do a little more research for you.
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of research with some restaurants too on cost comparisons, and the compostables are the most expensive option usually, but paper products are good. If you can do aluminum based products those are also recyclable, that's another low cost option. But again, Ricardo and I can help with the specific analysis if you have questions. One thing we've advised some of our restaurants, if they want to switch to paper products, since it is a cost increase to switch to something that isn't styrofoam, maybe adding a 5-cent charge or something to help recoup some of those costs at first may be helpful. Energy efficiency and lowering utility bills can also create room in your budgets for things like paper products or aluminum products or things that are a little bit more costly. So just thinking about how can you make a little bit more room in your budget, because I know margins are tight. That could be a couple different solutions that you look at to switch over and away from styrofoam.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. We're about out of time. So I appreciate all this information. I want to remind everyone before we go that you'll get this information in an email after this with contact information, a recording and slides. It will also live on our website at the IRA, which is illinoisrestaurants.org. And I want to thank specifically Cassie for being with us today, as well as Adil and Ricardo. This has been a great information. We really appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do this without your partnerships and these resources for small businesses, and our partnership with the Cook County Small Business Source and our continued partnership there to provide resources to anyone here and anyone in Cook County that wants free one-on-one business advising, help with events, or any other information and resources that we all provide as a partner with the Cook County Small Business Source. So again, thank you, everyone. And I look forward to the email. And if any other questions come in from the participants, please feel free to also reach out to us at the Illinois Restaurant Association. And with that, I hope everyone has a good day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.